Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So wait till a few of y'all pop up in here. Seen that weigh in today. Dillian Whyte coming in shape, man. Looked a hell of a lot better than that 271 pounds that I seen him weigh for the Marius Walk fight. Dimitri Khan, what's good, bro? DB, what's up, man? Want to give my quick opinion on this. This ain't gonna be long. Rory Tabori, what's up? You said you got White in four. Y'all hit that like button on y'all way in, man. One thing I will say is the dude's lot better shape, man. And I've been following him on Instagram, and I've been, paying attention that he has a YouTube page as well. And during that YouTube footage, sometimes training clips can be deceiving because you can watch video of somebody hitting the bag or hitting the mitts, and you don't know how long they've been working out. But some of the training clips I've seen, and I'm saying that to say this, some of the training clips I've seen of Dillian Whyte, he just looks very tired and sluggish. But again, maybe that training clip I've seen him hitting the bag, maybe that was after 2 hours of being in the gym or after already going 25 rounds or something on bag work, you know what I mean? But didn't look all that fast on the bag work that I seen on his YouTube page. Again, I will say, maybe they took those clips during the end of a training session, all right? But I don't know. And with him, even with his him being down to 252 pounds, his stamina is always shaky. Whether he's 258 or 259 like he was against Rivas and Parker, or even if he's down in the two. See, I like to see White around that 245 ish, like he was for the Chisora fights and the AJ fight. You know what I mean? But I will say 252 is a hell of a lot better than 271. All right, so I'm not gonna knock him completely. You know what I mean? But with Dillian Whyte, it's just his stamina. You just never know. I was having a conversation offline with somebody, man, and we're talking about Gerald Washington. He's kind of the same way. His physique looks great. The scales looks great, but then when he gets into fights, his fatigue just goes. Some guys just heavy breathers. They're just like that. Despite regardless of what the scales say, their fatigue just seems to waver going in, the middle of fights, late into fights. It's just how some guys are programmed. Leo Donna, what's up, man? Mike Wilkins, what's up? Mike Wilkins says he's rocking with Povetkin. DB says he's got White with a sloppy KO inside of six. Leo Donna says, salute, brother. Thoughts on the weights? Povetkin, constant professional throughout his career, was hoping White be in the mid to high 240. Hey, man, it's crazy that you say that, Lee, because I was saying the same thing. J. Roots Theory was good, man. I was saying the same thing. I like to see White in that 245, that range. 252 is a hell of a lot better than 271, but he just tends to be sluggish in all his fights, regardless of his weight. For his sake, though, if he is going to be sluggish, I'd rather be sluggish weighing 250 versus, 271 or 252. Povetkin came into 224. Look, Povetkin's been a professional for what, 15 years? He's been between 220 and 230, literally. I think the highest he's ever weighed is 231. I think the lowest he's weighed is like 219 and three quarters or something. But he's been between 220 and 230 for 15 years. So Povetkin comes in at 224. I knew he would be in shape for this fight. It's just with him, man. Look, I know power is the last thing to go as a heavyweight, but then you also got to look at things like, man, when is he going to become old? And sometimes you can just become old overnight. You know what I mean? So we will see tomorrow night. No more questions. We will see what's going to happen. But I think Dillian Whyte's gonna come in and try to bully Povetkin, man. I think he's gonna come in and try to just overpower him. And Povetkin has a tendency to start slowing his fights. Marco Huck took advantage of this. A lot of guys take advantage of that, but Michael Hunter tried to come in and get him out of there quick. And Povetkin showed some resilience, and he was able to fight through it. I think Dillian Whyte will try the same thing. I think he'll try to come in and put a little bit of pressure on early and see how Povetkin responds. But if he tries to fight Povetkin even kill from the outside, I think Dillian Whyte has a good jab, but his jab isn't a Larry Holmes, move around, pop the jab, keep you on the outside, Lennox Lewis type jab. It's a thudding, hard, want to wear you down type of jab where he's trying to jab you, but he wants to get close to get that right distance to throw his big shots. You know what I mean? And Povetkin is he's a smart swarmer where he'll stay on the outside a little bit, try to parry and and peck his way in with jabs and tries to find hands for overhands and his left hook. You know what I mean? So maybe it may be nip and tuck at the beginning, but I want to see how Dillian Whyte approaches this. Will he comes out, and then if he does approaches it and he does come out heavy handed, look, I think if he has Povetkin in the same situation that Michael Hunter had him in, I think Whyte may be able to get him out of there because I think Whyte's a harder puncher. But I want to see if Povetkin's going to try to drag this thing out into mid to late rounds to try to test that stamina. But that's kind of crazy, right? A 40-year-old testing the younger guy about 8 years, testing his stamina. You know what I mean? But shit, Povetkin showed that he has some stamina, man, because Michael Hunter will put pressure on you. If you don't think much of Michael Hunter, he will make you get into a high pace type of fight where you're, throwing punches at a high rate. So Tommy Temper was good, man. Gregory X, what it do? AJ, what's up, man? Gaines PP says, why Povetkin keep getting big fights? He's 40 for crying out loud. Good question. And how can he be the one that gets this fight when he had a draw with Michael Hunter, right? Why was Michael Hunter the odd man out? When to me, Michael Hunter has been looking more impressive in his last few fights. If we're just going by guys both having draws and who gets the next who gets the next big fight. Shit, he's beat Kuzman, beat Martin Bakole. And I know Povetkin has a better body of work in totality throughout his career, but I mean, yeah, you're right, man. Shit, he had his shot against AJ. You know what I mean? Then he just had a draw against Michael Hunter. Yeah, I agree. Why is he? But I think they're going off his name and just Eddie Hearn can do business with him. It's somebody that the UK fans have, even if they knew about him before, they really have had Povetkin in their sight the last few years with the fight against Price and the fight with AJ. You know what I mean? And now they're fighting. And then shit, the fight with Michael Hunter was on Eddie Hearn card as well, although it was in Saudi, but you know what I'm saying. And then now with the Dillian Whyte, and he hasn't suffered no major huge losses the AJ fight, but he's showed, good showing for himself in that fight. But the fight with Michael Hunter, yeah, that puts me in the mindset of why is he the lucky one? You know what I mean? But it's here now though, bro, whether we, have questions about it or not. Curtis Anderson was good, bro. And I will say this, man, with Dillian Whyte, before I get to the other little under the radar heavyweight fights, he has to stop lying though, man. He just has to stop this lying about how long he's been the mandatory. Like I was reading an article on ESPN a couple of days ago. It just made me shake my head like, bro, quit. Look, Dillian. Okay. I understand that you probably feel as if you should have been the mandatory since the day that you beat Robert Helenius. That's fine if that's what you think and that's what you feel. But there's a difference between what you feel and what's reality. And bro, stop telling people that you've been the mandatory since you beat Robert Helenius. That's a lie, man. You're just lying, bro. Like that was a WBC elimination fight. And I will say this, I thought the WBC shouldn't have made Brazil versus Molina the mandatory. How can the number 6 rated guy and the number 12 rated guy be the mandatory? How can the winner of that fight be the mandatory? I totally understand that. And I was saying something then. What I thought they should have done is made the winner of the both fights, which is you, Dillian Whyte, because you beat Helenius, and Brazil beat Molina. I thought what they should have done is just paired the two elimination fight winners, pit them in a final elimination match, a final eliminator match. I thought that was the right thing to do. Now, I agree with you on that, but you just self-proclaimed the mandatory. That's a lie. You're just lying, bro. Like, yes, you fought Rivas. Yes, you fought Parker. I'm not talking about your resume. I'm just talking about you lying about how long you've been mandatory, all this 1,000-day shit. And this ain't just me. Suleiman was on a podcast with Johnny Nelson. It was like 3 other people. All you got to do is go into Google, type in Johnny Nelson, Mauricio Suleiman, Dillian Whyte, mandatory, and this will pop up. The podcast will pop up. Suleiman gave this clearly and said this, like, you've never been a mandatory, man. You've been number 1 rated contender, but there's a difference between number 1 rated contender and the actual mandatory. All right, you became mandatory after you beat Oscar Rivas, bruh. This is Suleiman said this. It ain't just me making it up. Stop lying to people, man, with this whole 1,000-day BS. You know what I mean? Just win tomorrow night and everything else take care of itself. But you got to stop lying, though, man. It's just irritating hearing that lie. It's like, dude, quit lying to people saying you've been a mandatory for 1,000 days, man. It's just a fucking lie. It's just a lie, man. D-Star, what's good, bro? D Hodges up in here. What's good, D Hodges? Shit, BG. I don't see why AJ. He says AJ praying Whyte don't win by KO. I don't see why AJ would give a damn who wins the fight. He's beat both of them, and they offered Dillian Whyte another AJ fight, right? And Dillian Whyte said that the pay wasn't right. Am I missing something? I could have swore that's what happened. They offered Dillian Whyte the fight and a rematch, and Dillian Whyte said the money wasn't right. You know what I mean? Yeah, God of War, but no, bro, that's not semantics. Okay, let me just read what you said. You says that's just semantics. He went the WBC route and fought Helenius to get a title shot. He's waiting for AJ's. Wilder clearly ducked him. No, bro, that's not semantics. The mandatory is the mandatory. That's not semantics. Like the mandatory is the mandatory. I'm not saying I agreed with their mandatories. Like I didn't think Stavern should have been a mandatory again. I didn't think the Molina Brazil fight should have been a mandatory. But you can't just lie though, bro. See, I'm more upset with the lying. And there's some fans running around saying this in comment sections. He's been a mandatory for 1,000 days. No, he hasn't. That's just a lie, bro. That's not semantic. That's just a lie. But guess what? Now he's the interim champion, and all he has to do is just win. And look, the WBC need to be more clear about this because so if Povetkin wins, is he getting the title shot, or is it just a Dillian Whyte thing? I mean, it is for the interim title, and then the WBC has the nerve to put what they have the diamond belt up for grab as well. Yeah, for for whatever it's worth. They have the diamond belt up for grabs as well, but they need to be more clear on this, man. That's WBC. Look, and in no way am I trying to protect the WBC. All right, but I'm just saying the dude was just lying about the 1,000-day thing. But the WBC is doing a lot of suspect shit right now with Canelo. I seen that shit going on, and the other cat that missed the weight. Look, man, James Toney said it best. We be crooks, but look, all these sanctioning bodies are bullshit to me. To be honest with you, the IBF might be the least of the bullshit, but all the way around the board, all the way around the board, man. The WB, I can point something out that's ridiculous about all of them. You know what I mean? I agree, D Style, and they need to be more clear, man. So I don't know. So if Povetkin wins, does he get the shot? I have no idea, man. The WBC just makes shit up as they go along. They really do. Laws D the Pimpin', what's good, man? Tyrone Smith, what it do? The Prince says, as fans, we should be supporting boxers who want to challenge themselves against the best, not criticizing them. Whyte wants to fight the best. What's wrong with that? Bruh, see, you guys are you're reading too much into what I'm saying. I never criticized him about wanting to fight the best, but you also can't criticize Wilder and Fury also wanting to fight each other too. See, because then fans say Wilder and Fury are cowards. Well, how are they cowards when they want to fight each other? And last time I checked, at least on my watch, from my eyes, from my eye test, from me breaking down fights, Luis Ortiz is one of the best heavyweights too, just like I think Dillian Whyte is one of the best heavyweights. Now, to me, that's semantics. We're just splitting hairs here. Who's better between top heavyweights? You know, I think they're all good heavyweights. I'm not mad at Dillian Whyte. I just don't like the lie, bro. You're mixing up things. I love the Rivas fight. I thought Rivas shit. I wanted to see Rivas fight Amir Mansour when that fight was first put on the table years ago. I've been seeing Oscar Rivas want to fight a lot of guys. When he got the Whyte fight, great fight. When Whyte is fighting Chisora, two great. Look, bro, I know what Whyte can do. I just don't like the lies, though. You can't just keep lying because there are fans really running around here saying this dude been the mandatory. And that's a lie, man. That's just what I'm talking about. And look, just take care of business tomorrow, and it's all good. Just like my man Tyrone Smith said, just take care of business tomorrow night, and everything. Look, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? And then Whyte and Dominic Hardy's bringing it up too. Whyte had his chance to fight Ortiz. I know people want to say Ortiz didn't want the fight. And then when you bring up the Dominic Brazil, and I did videos about all this shit in real time when it was being said and happening. So to me, this is like just going over history again. But then Dominic Brazil offered his mandatory this before he fought, before he got sparked out one round by Wilder. He was offering to fight Dillian Whyte. And Dillian Whyte, for whatever reason, that wasn't good enough. You get what I'm saying? So when there was opportunities, and even Mauricio Suleiman said this on a podcast. He was given Whyte opportunities to get this thing going, but Whyte chose to do other things like fight Parker. Look, I'm not saying that the Parker fight isn't a good fight. That's a damn good fight, but it's not what the WBC was asking of you, though, bro. The Rivas fight or these other fights that you were just taking to take, good fights, but that's not what the WBC was asking of you. When they were asking you to fight Ortiz in Brazil, you chose to do other things. Bruce Goes, what's good, bro? Let me just say this real quick too, man. I see Daniel Dubois fighting some dude named Ricardo Schneider. That's gonna be a blowout. I thought the Eric Pfeiffer would have been a little bit closer because he's a two-time Olympian. Pedigree, wouldn't be scared or intimidated. But this Schneider guy, not say he's gonna be scared or intimidated, but I watched him, man. I think he's like 18-1 with 8 knockouts. He's a come forward guy, wants to put pressure, high guard, heavy front foot, doesn't really bounce around a lot, comes right to you with the high guard, wants to pump out the jab, and wants to get close and throw punches. He's going to walk right into something big and get knocked out early. And when he's on the inside, doesn't like to really work. He'll hold and wait for the ref to break you. I just see Dubois dismantling this guy, man. The thing about Dubois, I just want to see what type of shape he comes in at. He looks pretty slim from the video I've seen of him. He looks pretty slim and in shape. But after this quarantine, you really don't know what guy's going to come in at until they get on that scale. So long as he's in shape, I seen him working out at home with his younger brother and his younger sister. And then he hooked up with his trainer for the last month or so, whatever, training for this fight, a few weeks, whatever, or more than a few weeks, but a couple months or whatever. I see him winning this easily. Then we go ahead and get the Joe Joyce fight. But I see Dubois dismantling this dude pretty easy, man. Yeah, this Ricardo Schneider cat. And I watched, I was thinking of that name, like, man, I've heard of this name recently. And I remember where I heard of it because he fought the Tambui Jeko guy that's going to fight, what's that dude that fought Tyson, man? That beat Tyson at the end. Not McBride, but the other cat from the UK. What's the cat's name? Danny Williams. I seen him fight. Jeko's getting ready to fight Danny Williams, but I seen Jeko fight the Schneider guy. I'm like, oh, this is the dude. I seen him a couple weeks ago. Like, man, this is gonna get blown out against Daniel Dubois. But I got Dubois winning that rather easy. Should be quick and easy, man. I think dude's gonna come. It might go a couple rounds. I'll give him a couple rounds. Then you got Shondell Winters. This will fight. He's fighting Babic, Dillian Whyte, somebody who's with Dillian Whyte in his camp and all that. Babic, man, really not a lot on him on YouTube that I've seen. I seen one highlight video, and it was more like his amateur fights. He seems like a come forward, low, wants to get low, throw overhand rights, left hooks, just come forward and put pressure on you. One thing about Shondell Winters, though, the older guy, and Babic only got like, I think he's 3-0 3 knockouts. I would say Winters should stay off the ropes because I've seen a lot of this dude's amateur knockouts with dudes on the ropes. But think about Winters, like he did in the Parker fight, he lost the fight. He's comfortable against the ropes. He's a lot more comfortable than you think a guy with his, in his position should be. Just let you know the dude's been in the gym a lot, man. That's just come from whenever you're that comfortable against the ropes like that with your defense against heavy-handed guys, just lets me know that you spend a lot of times in gym sparring. You know what I mean? And you're just comfortable like that, fighting like that. So he may draw Babic into a situation where he thinks he has him hurt or has him, vulnerable, and he's getting caught with counters. You know what I mean? While he's trying to land big shots. Then I seen the Winters fight when he upset Alexander Teslenko as well. So crafty older guy that knows how to survive, knows the way around the ring. And they're back and forth at the little thing they had yesterday, the little side by side little press conference thing they had with Eddie Hearn was entertaining. You know what I mean? Y'all go check that out, man. Babic and Shondell Winters going back and forth. Thought that was entertaining. But I think I will go with Babic, but it might be more 50-50 because of the experience. And he's just a crafty veteran, man. You just never know. You know what I mean? I think he was going to beat Teslenko, and I didn't think he'll give Parker. I thought he'll give Parker some rounds, you know what I mean? But he may mess around, pull this one off, man. You know what I mean? But I'm going with Dillian Whyte in the Povetkin fight. I think it may be a late stoppage, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I think Dubois is going to steamroll old boy, man. See what y'all talking about before I jump off. Let me see here. Try to answer a few questions. But yeah, man, I don't have a hate for Dillian Whyte, y'all. So don't think, oh, he hates Dillian. No, I like Dillian Whyte, man. I think he has the mouthpiece to talk a good game. He won't short you on effort and heart, regardless of what shape he comes in at. But you got to stop lying about how long you've been mandatory, bro. It's just corny, man. It's just corny. Uh, Andrew Charles was good. Let me see here. D Style says, I thought the Diamond Belt was for big mega fights. Yeah, I did too, man. That's what I thought too. It's just ridiculous, D Style. WBC, they're just ridiculous, man. Let me see here. Games PP said Andrew Ruiz better than Whyte at the moment. I think Andrew Ruiz is the better fighter than Dillian Whyte. I think he's a better fighter. I would love to see them fight each other, but I would rate him higher. I think he's the better fighter. If you want to say that Dillian Whyte's fought the bigger names in totality of his career, I will agree with that. But I think just from what I see from the eye test and chin and stamina and things like that, and just hand speed and I would rate Ruiz a better, slightly better fighter than Dillian Whyte, in my opinion. But that's one of them fights where I love to see him fight. It don't matter what I think. I want to see him fight. D Style says the super chat never went through. Damn. I don't know what's up with you two, man. And then I seen that, they said that Frank Warren said that this Schneider guy, he's been training the last few weeks just in case the Pfeiffer fight fell through. Pfeiffer fight fell through. Damn, say that fast. So he's been on standby training, but I don't think it's going to help anything. This would be a huge upset, man. But from what I've read, it was something about some medical papers as to why Pfeiffer won't be fighting. Go figure, though. You never know, man. Damn, DB, they're not letting you send a super chat either? That's crazy. Well, I appreciate y'all trying to send me a super chat, man, but that's crazy why they're not letting these super chats through. It is what it is, man. I do it for the love, you know what I mean? But I like when people appreciate what I got to say, though, but maybe next time, right? Let me see. Yeah, Leo Donna. Winners usually comes in weighing pretty light from from what I think. Laws D says Persoon and Katie Taylor should be a good one too. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I think I'm gonna go live. I know a few of y'all probably gonna go live as well, man. I think I'm gonna go live for this Whyte and Povetkin joint and the Babic for the two heavyweight fights. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go live. D Hodges says I hate him talking about Whyte. He says loaded gloves in the first fight and the worst than provoking. I think he's talking. He's talking about fear. I don't know who he's talking about. And then I'm just looking at that, just looking at the. Then I'm not even gonna cook on that, man. It don't even matter. He got to take care of business tomorrow. Dillian Whyte is better than Ruiz. Come on, man. I'm from the U.S. too, but be real, bro. I think he is okay. How is Dillian Whyte better than Andy Ruiz? I mean, we can sit here and break it down, Levi. You know what I mean? I got a little time. We can break it down. How do you think he? Let me make. You said Dillian Whyte is better than Ruiz. Come on, man. I'm from the U.S. too, but be real. I am being real. He has good hand speed. I've always thought Andy Ruiz was one. Look, bro, if you've been following me for the last 11 years, one of the first, because I don't do top tens that often. I've only done about my top 10 heavyweights, man, about probably like 4 times, man. Like seriously. But when I used to do them before he beat AJ, I'm talking about like 2013, about 14, 15, always said that Andrew Ruiz will be in my top 10 if he just fought a little bit more. I've always thought highly of Andrew Ruiz. Always. I'm not just one of these because he beat AJ. I'm just, oh yeah, Andrew. No, I've always thought highly of him. He just didn't never fight enough. He was always having issues outside the ring. His weight and body and all that, I never looked into that too far because I always knew that his body wasn't really the picture of uh, who he was as far as his skill set and his chin. I always thought Andy could fight, yo. So nah, bro, I'm not one of them fly by night Ruiz fans that became a fan after he beat AJ in the first fight. Better hand speed. I think he has better stamina. Um, Technique is better. I think shit. I think I'll give Whyte punching, like one punch punching power. Probably give him that. But shit, I mean, what category is Whyte dogging him in? Now, as far as more notable fighters that he's fought and beaten, I'll probably give him that edge. But head to head eye test, shit, Ruiz can fight, bro. Like, I don't know what you talking about, Levi. Okay, see, you're going by okay. I get it then. If you're going by resume, just the names, cool, I get that. But as far as like them as fighters, bro, I think Ruiz is a better fighter. Official agent says, I don't care that Whyte beat Parker. Parker is definitely the better fighter than Whyte, too. Lane Evelyn says, how was Parker better? He lost. Okay, so y'all going at it. Dimitri Collins says, Andy has a better chin, too. Yeah, man. I don't go by the triangle theory, but I'm not even going to do that. I can't say I don't go by it and then bring it up. Y'all, I was going to bring up the AJ Whyte, and, I'm not even going to go by that. But uh, Ruiz can fight, man. I think he is slightly better, in my opinion, as far as skill set. God of War says, I'm hyped for the fight tomorrow. One of the best heavyweight fights this year. On paper, yeah, man. On paper, this looks like it's going to be a barn burner, man. Laws D, the pimpin' says Schneider's used to be a cruiserweight. Yeah, okay, now they're letting this super chat go through. So I forgot who said they tried to leave me one. D-Style and somebody else. I'm not sure, bro, but they let the J. Ruse theory. I appreciate that $10 holla, man. He says Ruiz is more technically sound than Whyte. I agree. So they let his go through, bro. Let me see here. That's pretty much it. Speaking of Ruiz, I see that him and Areola, allegedly, they said they got that one put together finally, right? Man, I've been talking about that since about 2014. You know how long I've been, not just me, but others that thought like me, bro, we've been saying make Ruiz versus Areola in Southern California. That's like, uh, that's like a no-brainer. That fight should have been made. Ruiz and Areola should have been made somewhere in Southern Cali. That should have been made, man. Um, I've been talking about that shit for like 5-6 years about them fighting. I even brought that up to Andy. Uh, it was off the record though, man. But when I interviewed him, that interview's still on my page. I interviewed Andy probably like a month before he fought Parker. But he was getting ready to fight Parker for the WBO vacant title at that time. And I remember bringing up him and Areola, and he was like, man, it just never came together. He was like, yeah, people always ask me about that. It just never came together. And I was like, damn. And this was years ago when I asked him about this. It was off the record, though. It wasn't during the interview. It was off the record. So I've been talking to him about, or I've been thinking about that. But it's good that they're finally getting it up. My man Laws D, the pimpin' was good, bro. He says, great show. 100, bro. I appreciate that. Y'all go subscribe to my man Laws D, Punch Out TV, a.k.a. Laws D, the pimpin', man. ING says Ruiz murders Areola right now. My man Pa says, salute Mr. Boxing. Salute chat. Whyte versus Povetkin. Can't wait. I can't wait. I'm going to go live, man. Y'all got me hyped up. I'm going to go live now. Levi Khan says, hey, Jamal James beat Delorme, repping from Minnesota. I'm from Rochester, Minnesota. Stand up. Ha ha. Go Twins. 2, they come in for the World Series this year. Shit, hopefully. We haven't had a World Series, the 87 and 91? I remember both of those vividly. 87, the Homer Hankies and all that. Levi, did you have a damn Homer Hanky back then? But yeah, I remember those two World Series wins vividly, man. 87 and 91, and the 2000, man. We just always had the bad luck of fucking playing the Yankees all the damn time. You know what I mean? Always losing to the damn Yankees and the Rays too. I just see Lone Man up in there. He said, "Let's go Rays." You know what I mean?
Make sure you save your dad some chicken.
Yeah, save me some, man. My kids up in there killing all the damn chicken. All right, let me see here. And Rochester, shout out to Rochester, man. They've always had a solid junior college football program down there. I know at least when I was, in my athletic days in college and all that, they were pretty damn good. Oh, Curtis Anderson says he's a diehard Yankees fan. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Damn, Curtis. I hate the Yankees, man. Have you seen Teddy Ellis' interview with Whyte? Good watch, Mr. Boxing. Nah, Late Evelyn. I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get off here. But I don't want y'all thinking I'm a Dillian Whyte hater, man. I just think he needs to just stop saying that. You know what I mean? If you want to say that you've been ranked number one in the sanctioning body for 1,000 or whatever, cool. But you can't keep saying you've been a mandatory since you beat Hellenius, because that's just not true, bro. And that's just not me saying it. Sulaimanis came out and said this as well. Curtis Anderson said he been a damn Yankees fan since '76. Was Reggie playing for him in '76? Where we playing with the eight? Was Reggie playing for him in '76? He wasn't. No, okay. He was okay. Uh, Bruce Goes up in here was good. Bruce, he said Joe Smith and Alvarez should be a nice way to end the year or end the night. Also, yes, it's gonna be a good one, man. Joe Smith, and he got the power to knock anybody out. Alvarez is a tough cookie. Also on that card, speaking of Minnesota, want to see my man Rob Brandt do his thing. I know I always say this, but shit, hey man, it's my boxing story. I sparred Rob Brandt back in the day, man, but I want to see Rob do. I want to see Rob do well, man. D Hodges with these teams: the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Patriots, the Bruins. Man, I hate your damn teams, man. All your teams get, well, not all, but there was like a little era, man, or like a little time frame when all the Minnesota teams kept giving, or not giving, but the damn Red Sox will get our former players and they'll go to them teams and become and do great things. Moss was a beast here in Minnesota, but then he went to the Patriots. Even though I know he went to other teams before that, but he went to the Patriots, and him and Dan Brady was breaking records. You know what I mean? Kevin Garnett went to the damn Celtics. He wins a championship. Big Poppy played for the Twins. He goes to the Red Sox. You know what he does there. And then we get the number one pick, right? I just seen watching the game yesterday. We get the number one pick. Timberwolves gonna find a way to fuck it up, man. I just think whoever they pick, whoever that guy is, whether it's LaMelo, whether it's the kid from Georgia, whether it's the overseas kind of seen them show yesterday, whoever we pick, for some reason he ain't gonna be the he ain't gonna be the most talented player in the next 5 years out of that set. You know what I mean? I think they're talking about the kid from Georgia. I like LaMelo, man, because I think he the way they're playing the game nowadays with all these damn threes they're taking, and it's so positionless. They're talking about who needs a big. I see Wiseman, the kid from Memphis. Now this was 1995 or something, 96. He'll probably be the no-brainer for number one because they always pick the 7-footers, right? You know what I mean? But to get to today, the game is so spread out, man. It's positionless. So as soon as I heard people talking about the Timberwolves, and they don't need LaMelo because they got D'Angelo Russell. I'm sitting here like, it's positionless. It don't matter if he's already our point. He could play off the ball. Both of these dudes could play off the ball because they're it's just positionless nowadays, man. So I will go with LaMelo because he seems like he has the brighter future. But I guess we'll see. Maybe he's the wrong pick. But I think the Timberwolves somehow, some way, we're going to fuck it up. Or we will get the right guy. Then after 3 years, we'll trade him. Because no superstar ever is going to come here in his prime. If we get some superstar, it's going to be some faded guy that used to have a name 10 years ago that's in his 16th year or some shit like that, man. But we'll see. Oh, Levi Kahn said he think the Timberwolves probably going to trade the pick. I was saying that to my wife yesterday, that we might mess around and trade the pick. And if a superstar does dare to come here, he'll probably regret it. Levi Kahn said he watched David Ortiz play it live at the Metrodome. D. Hodges says Brady gone, but happy we got a black quarterback. Man, hopefully everything works out for Cam, man. It's a tough place to up there is like he don't take no shit, man. You know what I mean? So Cam will have to go in there and just do his best. I think he still got something left. But I guess we will see, man. Belichick, we'll see, but that's a tough coach, man. He has his way, he has his system. Levi Kahn said, who's the next Russian heavyweight following Sasha Povetkin? Well, right now you got Evgeny Romanov, who is rated in the WBO. I think he's in their top 10. He's the guy that stopped Deontay Wilder in the amateurs. there's a few guys out there, man, but right now he's the one that's rated, and I would love to see him just because of his fighting style. And he's a smaller heavyweight. Just want to see how far he goes. I would love to see him do something right now. You know, I agree, official AJ. That's how it goes, man. You win two chips. They're talking about, they could possibly be one of the best teams ever, and then 2 years later, they're the number two pick. They're in the draft. But that's what happens when you got your star players sitting out, man. And then it also lets you know, and then also lets you go. It also shows that Green, the Draymond Green, isn't a first option type of player. Never will be. You know what I mean? Not to say that that's his claim to fame. His thing is like a jail guy. He's like the glue guy, right? Where he can bring the ball up, he can knock down a three, he can rebound, he can defend, he can score a little bit. He can shoot the 3-4, he can spread the floor a little bit, but he's not a number one option, not even close to one. Um, it's crazy, a guy like him will probably end up in the Hall of Fame, you know. But shout out to Draymond. Yeah, Levi, I see that. Sean, I think Sean should win that fight. Haven't heard much about the guy that he's fighting. Um, Got to do my due diligence on the guy he's fighting, man. But I've never heard of the guy. I'm not even gonna hold you. I've never even heard of that dude. Povetkin retire if he loses, or will he keep going? I think he should retire. I mean, there's no more title shots on the horizon after this. I thought after the AJ was over, I thought his title shot dreams would be over with. But uh, according to whatever the WBC is going to do, if he were to beat Dillian Whyte, but if he loses again, though, man, I don't really maybe have one more in Russia just for like a farewell type deal. But I don't see what more else there is to prove for Povetkin if he were to lose this fight. Lone Man said he's a decent boxer from Mela, but he lacks power, and I haven't liked how he's looked against effective pressure. Ooh, if he ain't got no power and he looks shaky against pressure, ooh, sheesh. Sean Porter, the wrong dude to fight. Even though Sean Porter isn't like it has extreme power, but he does bring extreme pressure. And if you can't handle the heat he's putting on you, you may end up looking like Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I mean? Joe Host was good, man. Hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all showing up. Tune in tomorrow, man. I'm going to go live for the heavyweight fights. I'm going to go live for the Winters and Babic fight, and Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, man. I appreciate y'all showing up. Till tomorrow, man. Y'all be easy. I'm gone.